You couldn't hear that on video, so we're starting this video. That was Crimson and Clover, and one of my favorite songs. One of my favorite songs was Crimson and Clover, and you couldn't hear that on video. We start the video up first, of course, and but it was one of my favorite, very, very favorite things. And maybe you could hear it on video. Yeah, you probably could, but we turned everything off now anyway. So it's just me in the studio today. My name is Paul K. Lemire. This is Your City, Your Voice, coming to you live from downtown Niagara Falls, Ontario, Canada, in the studios of 4680Q. Yep, so here we are today. It's Friday, June 7th. And what are we going to talk about today? Well, we have lots to talk about. I'm going to try to keep this microphone down a bit. I think we have a good reception on both microphones here, and we should be okay to go, right? Okay, let's get this show underway. First of all, my sponsors, Wild Bill's Auto Repair and Body Shop and Hamilton Glowstone Lighting. Now, we look out the window today, it's 70 degrees out there. Not that great, cloudy, overcast. It could rain, who knows? But the bottom line is, at the end of this month, the kids get out of school. You're going to pack up your family. You're going to head to some exotic location like Willoughby. And you know what? You're going to want your car to run tip top. You don't want any breakdowns. You don't want any problems. You want your air conditioning working because you can't keep your windows open when you're doing 70 miles an hour down the 401 headed to Temagami or somewhere. Right? So you take it to Wild Bill's. He has all the diagnostic equipment you need to be able to find out what's wrong with your car, and you don't have to do it. He'll do it for you. But he has that. He has that equipment. He's going to tell you what's wrong, give you a price, fix it on the spot, and away you go. You're good to go. Happy motoring through the summer. You don't have to worry about breakdowns, and you don't want breakdowns. Who wants breakdowns in the middle of the summer when you're on a vacation? So get your car checked out. Wild Bill's Auto Repair and Body Shop. Any fender benders, any little dents and dings in your car, or a big collision. He's got a full body shop there. He's going to take care of your car, send it out shiny and new, like it went before you got into the smash 'em up derby, and call it a day. That's it. So simple. Wild Bill's Auto Repair and Body Shop, Oakwood Drive, by the Kia dealership. Simple to get to. Go see Wild Bill. Go see Ken Hunter. He's the owner. Named it after his father, William Hunter, who had a shop in Niagara Falls for 25 years. He's passed on, unfortunately, God bless him. But yeah, Ken named his business after his dad. So there you go. Go see Ken. Tell him Paul from Your City, Your Voice sent you. He'll be happy. I'll be happy. Everybody's going to be happy. And that's what we want, right? Okay. Well, maybe some people won't be happy when I finish with this show. Hamilton Glowstone Lighting, that's our other sponsor. And we're going to talk about them about halfway through the show. Okay. So what do we got here? Well, we're going to take a little care of a little housekeeping. The secret word winner yesterday was Gary Wilkins. And congratulations, Gary. You were number 5 to send in your secret word of the day, which was Natina. And you know what? Gary's a regular listener. He listens every day, and he comes in once in a while to give his opinion on things. So, he was number 5, and that's fantastic. So good for him. And you know what? Here's the kind of guy Gary is. He messages me back after he heard he won. He says, Paul, do you mind if I give it to, I think he was talking about Lori Parliament, I think. I don't know, maybe it could have been Lori Lacoga, but Lori anyway, for her event at the square in, Cummington Square in Chippewa. And she can use it as a prize. And I said, oh, yeah, no, please do anything you can help him. Well, that's the kind of guy he is. He's going to give it away. So God bless Gary. He's a good guy. And yeah, good for him. And anybody else who won over the past weeks, go pick your gift certificates up. They're waiting there for you. Enjoy a nice dinner. You won't be disappointed at the old Fire Hall restaurant. I'm telling you that right now. Okay, so I'm going to do a one of my spots here that I usually do. It's called What Happened To. Okay, so today's What Happened To the Toronto Powerhouse Project that was going to be refurbished, rebuilt into this giant, beautiful palace right on the water, down the parks, and boutique hotel. right? If you remember, the project was supposed to be built, and it was going to be like a $200 million refurbish of the old power station, including shops and boutique hotel. Oh my! What a fantastic! Sounds fantastic, right? So I'm going, okay, great. Pearl Hospitality was an expert in renovating and developing these old buildings. That was the company that was going to invest in and do the work. So Bob Gale, he's the new Parks Commission chair, noted the public response has been fantastic, with particular interest generated on social and traditional media. The public engagement process has been conducted and gone well, with 99% of those surveyed thinking that the old power station is an important piece of history and the restoration would have a positive impact on Niagara. And I agree with them 100%, man. They refurbished that, put shops in it, and put a boutique hotel right on the Niagara River. You know where it is, where the old scow is, overlooking the falls. What could be better than that? It's about time. I wanted them to turn this into the casino. That's where I would have loved a casino. Who has a casino right on a seventh natural wonder of the world? There's only one place, Niagara Falls, Ontario, Canada, but yeah, it was never used for that. But now it's going to be refurbished anyway. So Councillor Joyce Morocco thought this project is a game changer for Niagara and the region, and hopes to sign a lease agreement with Pearl this summer and construction beginning in the fall. I mean, that would be awesome if that happened. The construction is expected to last 3 years. Thanks to Jay Goldberg for this story. Jay is the Ontario director at the Canadian Taxpayers Federation, and he's a contributor to the Niagara Independent. Hats off to the Niagara Independent. And man, oh man, I'll tell you, if they get this thing going, like there's so much talk about stuff in this town, but nothing ever happens. Right? We're gonna have a 77-story hotel. Okay, we're gonna have a 72-story hotel. Okay, we're gonna have 3 hotel. Okay, Michael's Inn is gonna be a giant. Okay, we're gonna get Marineland. They're gonna be a big amusement park, like a Canada's Wonderland. Okay. Oh, this big hotel complex on Stanley Avenue at Ferry Street. There, it's a big hole in the ground. Oh, this big boathouse project in Chippewa, another big hole in the ground. We hear so much of these projects, and they never get started. They never get started. Well, maybe this one will actually get started. I don't know, but I got to think it's got a shot, right? I mean, what the heck? This Pearl has done a few of these projects, and they seem to be legit. So, with any luck, they get it done, and we have a beautiful, beautiful building down there. Now, I want to stick around the city here for a while because there's a lot of stuff going on. Now, in a city council meeting last fall, in our budget meetings, and I got an itchy ear, I don't know why. In our budget meetings, we heard a lot of talk about this innovation hub, which was the Spark Innovation Hub, which was under controversy and blah, blah, blah. Now, when it came up to giving them money, the city allocated $700,000 to them. $700,000. That's a lot of do re mi when our taxes are going up 4% this year and 8% last year. So Lori Lococo was the only one who stood up and questioned it because it was heard that businesses from outside of Niagara Falls were taking advantage of this innovation hub, and really, it's made to spark business interest in Niagara Falls. People who want to start up a small business, people who have an idea, they can go there and get help to bring that idea to fruition. And basically, they get all kinds of help from these guys. They help them with their business plan. They help them with their business. They'll give them studio if they're going to do something like I'm doing right now. They give them studio time. There's all kinds of stuff, and for me, that's fantastic because I'm not the best at all this. I'm monkeying around with this video and trying to get it right and everything else. And the studio here isn't exactly made to do this kind of thing. It's not so bad when I'm here. I'm kind of in the center and everything else. But when I have a guest, it's tough because there's just not enough room. So they have a studio down there, and maybe something I would wanted to look at. So what did I do? I was talking to Lori. She said, "Well, give this guy there who runs it, give him a call. He'd be more than happy to help you." So here's my experience for $700,000. I call down there, nobody answers. Leave a message for the guy. Never got a call back. And so 2 weeks later, I called again. This time somebody answered. And the person on the phone was, very nice. And she said, well, here's the name of somebody that you can contact. All you have to do is just send them an email and they'll get back to you tomorrow. Okay. Sounded good to me. Yep. Send them an email. That was 2 weeks ago. No, nothing. Haven't heard anything. Nope. Give them the siren. Nothing. Not a thing. Not a word. $700,000 6 weeks later. Not a call. Local guy who wants to do maybe a podcast or something. Yep. No interest, I guess. I don't know. But they're supposed to be spurring small business in Niagara Falls. This is what we gave $700,000 to. Now, I might just be the odd guy out here. Maybe they know about my show and they don't like me. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's because I got long hair. Maybe it's because I'm a big mouth sometimes. I don't know. All I can tell you is what happened to me. So, when Lori Lococo questions that $700,000, and everybody's going, "Oh no, it's great. They do." You know what? That's my experience. So, I think maybe we should be asking for our money back. I don't know. That's pretty weird. I don't even get a phone call. Nothing in 6 weeks, and I'm not calling him again. Lori says, "Well, here, let me." I'm going, no, Lori, forget about it. It's over. It's past. I'm not interested in these guys anymore. I figured it out myself, and I'll find another place to do the show if I have to. If I can't make it work in here, we'll figure something out. But gee whiz, and they charge like for the studio time, which I'm willing to pay for if I can have a nice studio to use and some expertise to help me along the way. No interest, I guess. I don't know. But anyway, if they call now, I'm going to tell them to pack it. Get out of here. I have no interest now. Time's passed. Take your $700,000 and do what you want. And I'm going to be pushing big time for you to get less next year. Because I don't see what you're doing. I never got results. I don't know about anybody else. If anybody else knows about it, you can't text me because I'm using my phone to do this video. So if you have any more information or want to give a comment on the Innovation Hub, 289-296-4311. This little unit right here is called the telephone, and I can kick you right into the board here and get you live on air if you have something to say about the Innovation Hub or Spark Innovation or whatever it's called. 289-296-4311. Sorry, you can't text me or Facebook me. I just don't have the ability when I'm taping these shows. I'm going to have to get another phone, I guess. I don't know. That's another thing I got to figure out. But at the end of the day, we do have the number 289-296-4311. So that's my comment on the Innovation Hub. I don't know what everybody else experiences with them, but the guy who's running the joint didn't call me back. The guy who's the girl who was supposed to be an agent or whatever the heck she is didn't email me back. Didn't answer my email. Nobody called me. They have my number. Not interested. And then Lori was going to hook me up with somebody else, and I know the guy. That's another story we may get into one day. But at the end of the day, I'm done with these clowns. I want my money back. Okay, let's move on before I have a heart attack with some of these people in the city. So now, I'm looking at the paper. So now, the possible strike at the border with the CSBA, the Canadian, what are they called? Canadian Border Services Agency, or BSA, CS, whatever they are. That's not enough. They're going to close down the bridge, maybe, right? Here we are in the summer season, just coming off 2 or 3 years of really bad summers because of the COVID scam and everything else. And now they're going to go on strike. Well, isn't that convenient? Well, it's not only them. Now it's the Niagara Parks Commission. Their union wants a strike mandate as well. Local 217 of the OPSU that represents MPC employees reached an impasse with the MPC on May 17th, and this triggered a 17-day countdown to a strike deadline. Now, talks have been extended to June 20th, and they're going to be talking. They're talking. They're talking. The union said it cannot accept a 4-year deal without significant wage increases. It's always show me the money. It's always about the money. These guys don't care. Always about the money. Significant improvements for benefits and improvements for part-time workers. The NBC reps say they are working hard to come to an agreement. There are 730 frontline parks employees. I don't know. You know, go and grab as much money as you can. What's the difference at this point? We're all broke anyway. It doesn't really matter. Get as much as you can. I mean, we're coming off of almost 3 years of COVID. We crushed tourism, shut down the city, shut down tourism, basically closed the casino even. And believe me, casinos don't close down for anything. The one over in Niagara Falls, New York, never closed down. Only these clowns in Ontario could figure that one out, closing down a casino. How ridiculous. And then we find out it was all a scam anyway. All a scam. They spent millions of dollars to do this casino over with plexiglass all over, separating the slot machines and everything. And the 6-foot rule these clowns put on us. Millions of dollars. Then they told them you're closed. What a bunch of morons. Anyway, I digress. So the difference is the NBC is not an essential service like the CSBA, the Canadian Service Border Agency, whatever it's called. I don't know, something like CBSC. I can't follow all these numbers and letters. I mean, I got so many letters. I just shortened it to the alphabet, people, because I can't say all the letters. There's too many letters. But man, Niagara Falls is enough of a mess as it is. Imagine a 2-month strike with garbage all over the place and the parks overgrown with weeds. Imagine people picketing down the parks with barrels lit on fire and people marching around with signs. I mean, saying, strike, we're on strike. Oh, man. I mean, the parks is almost important as the falls themselves, really, when you think about it. A strike would not be good. But at the end of the day, you really can't let these gangster unions hold everybody hostage every time they want a new contract. They're not essential services, so they can't be shut down or anything like that. They can't force them to go back to work. And I love it. These union guys, they call it unfortunate timing. Unfortunate timing, my butt. This is all planned. Why do you think they have their negotiations in May? Because they know if they close the parks down in the summer and nobody goes to work, it's going to cause major problems. Unfortunate timing. Are you kidding me? What kind of idiot would say that? We know that. Well, are we stupid or what? Do I look stupid? Well, don't answer that. Don't answer that question right now. But I'm telling you, a lot of my friends, they don't look stupid and they know better. A lot of people that I know, unfortunate timing. Give me a break. You know, you get mad and then you start laughing. It's just so ridiculous. I mean, so forget about these guys. They're going to come to a deal. I don't know what we're going to get tagged for. I mean, the Parks Commission, at least the Parks Commission, is pretty well self sufficient. They generate money and they spend money and they don't ask the governments for anything. So good for them. They pay what they want. But at the end of the day, the bridges we pay for, they're federal tax employees. We pay for them and we pay for this. And somehow we're going to pay for the parks too because, if they get a bigger contract, then, stuff's going to go up in price and attractions go up in price. And, it filters all down. It always filters down to the poor slobs, the schnooks at the end of the line who pay everything. We pay everything. So, I mean, I have to, I get this picture of the Frito Bandito sitting in front of his TV watching the news here, rubbing his hands because they're socialists, and he's like a seal. Oh, yeah, union, yeah, oh. And, that's it. It's all a big game anyway. On a side note, if you're going to Hogtown, yeah, that dump about a mile from here up the highway, the TC is also in a strike position. But a tentative deal appears to have been reached, so service is still up and running. It hasn't been ratified, but the 12,000 workers and TTC are hoping a deal is finalized. The union has agreed to at least continue subway service until the regular services resume, or until regular services end, because they're going to run the regular service till 2 or 3 in the morning, and then they're going to shut it down, and they might not be coming back. They claim they're at an impasse and claim that if a deal is not in place by Friday morning, which is looky, it's Friday afternoon, but a couple hours ago it's Friday morning, that they're going on strike. I haven't heard anything more about this. See how it all plays out. Those damn unions are at it again. And a funny thing. If you're going to go to Toronto, there's no subway in that. You take a GO train in. You better bring your running shoes and be ready to use them, because it's going to be a nightmare. All those people have nowhere to go. You can't drive. A lot of them don't have cars. They use the subways because downtown, and they work downtown. They just use the subways and buses. So this is really going to get good if they don't settle. They might just settle. What the heck? So I got to tell you about this bizarre El Bizarro scenario. Now, I never heard of this before. Maybe it's something China was trying, you know, trying to get rid of stuff. But anyway, North Korea flew a bunch of balloons loaded with North Korean trash, garbage, over the border, and then dumped the trash on South Korea. South Korea, the 99 Luft balloons here, right from North Korea. I mean, I'm looking at it going, we got a lot of trash in this city around the streets. Maybe we should just pick it up, tie it to a balloon, and float it over to Niagara Falls, New York. Think they'd be happy about that? I don't know. It's right there. I mean, go stand on the gorge, put a balloon up when the wind's blowing that way, right over. Get rid of our trash. But I never heard of this before, and South Korea isn't accepting the trash as something good. First off, they don't know what the hell it is. They don't know what's in this trash. It could be radioactive. It could be anything from this clown, Kim Jong-un there. So they are handling it gingerly. They got guys in masks and everything going through this garbage. And because of it, they're so mad. They also suspended a 2018 agreement aimed at easing border animosities. The border's been pretty good. I mean, Trump went right there and walked into North Korea, the first president since the 40s, probably, to go into North Korea, and walked right over the line. And the first guy ever to do that, along many moons, Kim Young Moons. And this suspension is also going to allow South Korea to resume military drills near the border and take immediate action to any provocation by North Korea. As well, they can start with their propaganda campaigns again. I mean, they were huge on flying planes over and dropping a bunch of pamphlets and stuff, propaganda, and using loudspeakers to blast pop music and news to the 26 million people that are not allowed to access foreign music and news. So this is what they used to do: sit at the border, blast music across the border to the North Koreans, and deliver propaganda flyers about freedom and stuff. And maybe they'll drop them via balloons now. I don't think they'll send trash. They'll just send propaganda. But North Korea says if they start the leaflet balloons and sending leaflets across again, they're going to start up the trash balloons again. An interesting twist to the tense situation that's always between the Koreans, right? There's always something going on with these guys, especially Kim Jong-un. This guy, he's wackier than you-know-what rat. And, he's inhaled too much dust. But, funny thing, I never heard of anything so bizarre, and I can't believe it. But, hey, this is the wacky world we live in. And a pretty crazy story. If you ask me, I'm getting a pen here. Don't worry about me. I got to check off some of this stuff. I'm going to be repeating it like Joe Biden. Let me check it off. Check. Story, check. And just to add to that, crazy stories around. I'm going to go back to over here to my last page where we have those wacky Houthis. I mean, these guys blow my mind. The Houthis down in Yemen. The crazy Houthis are at it again. They claim now that they had a press release, a news release, that they destroyed the USS Eisenhower with missiles. I don't know if anybody knows what the USS Eisenhower is. This nuclear-powered U.S. aircraft carrier stationed in the Red Sea. Believe me, these guys have systems on there. If they shot one missile, it wouldn't make it 10 feet off the ground before these guys fired a missile back at it and clobbered it. Now, the Eisenhower was commissioned in 77, powerful aircraft carrier named after the 34th President of the United States, Dwight Eisenhower. It's well equipped. I mean, the thought of the Houthis, this band of rebels in Yemen, taking out a U.S. aircraft carrier is totally wacky. And for them to even say that is even wackier because, there's not nobody who's going to believe them. Nobody's going to believe these. But anyway, I will give them credit for their persistence and crazy press releases. They're whacked. They are a never-ending source of entertainment, and there you go. They took out the Eisenhower. Meanwhile, satellite images have it sitting comfortably in the Red Sea, just waiting to kick their butts if they need them kicked. And it looks like they're going to start causing trouble, and they're going to get them kicked. They're going to get them kicked. Now, back to this area here. Now, I always talk about crime. You know how I am with crime. You be the judge and everything else. But here's another wacky story here. And, it never ends. It never ends. It never ends. So, and here's Pride Month. Here we go. Now, how does the criminal justice system fall for this nonsense? These woke liberals, this is what happens. So, here we go. Okay, a sexual predator who abused several young boys in Niagara Falls 15 years ago has been denied parole, which is good. But get this. Natalie, as he is now known, formerly Robert, was declared a dangerous offender and jailed indefinitely until 2020. Previous to these charges, he spent 6 years in jail in 2008 for charges relating to the sexual abuse of three Niagara Falls boys. Now, he has now made an application for parole and told the parole board, "There was a time when I was only attracted to minors. Now I'm transitioning and feel much better mentally and physically and emotionally." Um, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? This guy's more mental than ever. This is what they how they use this stuff. He claims that taking the transition medication, I would imagine he's talking about estrogen and hormones and therapy treatment, or what do you call that? Drug therapy treatment? I don't know what it's called. Reduces his sex drive and help them focus on the future. His thoughts are clear. He is not focused on sex like he used to be. Although all he talked about was sex in this whole interview, and I think that's all he talked about. But he's not focused on sex. But the story was written in the review. I could have been by Ray Spiteri. I'm not sure who. Maybe Allison Langley or Mike Langlois. I think that's his name. But regardless, they have great writers there. John Law. There's a bunch of them. I forgot to get the name, but I will give them credit. The review writers, because they are good. And now he says the parole board turned the mental case down flat, with a parole officer in the field saying this guy has not made any significant progress in addressing the factors that contribute to his offenses and often surrounds himself in prison with the youngest looking inmates possible. Let's face it. The guy was a threat. He is a threat, and he'll always be a threat. I don't care if he's changed to a woman, or I don't care what he says he is. This shows he's more mental than he ever was before. Or he's smart, maybe. Maybe he's smart. He figures he can get off by calling himself a woman and taking hormones. A lifetime in the slammer being a woman is just what the doctor ordered. He can have all the sex he wants there. Yeah, he can have tons of sex there. But keep this lunatic off the streets for good. The good thing is he's listed as a dangerous offender, so he should be taking broomsticks for a long time. He doesn't get clipped first in jail. So there you go. You go to jail, change to a woman, take hormones, and you're out as a sex offender. Because I think, no, don't let him out. Two-time offender, don't let him out. Just changing to a woman means absolutely nothing. He's a mental case, and keep him in there. But anyway, that's what we got. That's what we got. And believe me, If this guy gets out and he's wandering around the streets, it would not surprise me at all. It would not surprise me at all. It's just the way it works, and these courts and these judges are just ridiculous. But that's on you. Just keep reading the paper, everybody. You'll see it. There it is, right there. Just keep reading the paper, and just keep getting upset, and keep talking about crime and everything. But until they get serious about taking the steps they need to take to keep the criminals in jail, to keep them locked up, and to get rid of that turnstile at the front door of the courthouse, because they're in and out on bail like nothing. Until they decide to get serious about it, we're going to see more and more. And we're going to talk about a little bit more about stuff that's happened. You're always seeing it every day. 2 black kids get shot up in Hamilton. Another black kid shot him. He's running away. Another black kid, 2 black kids. Like it's always the same. And yeah, call me racist. I don't care. Call me racist. Yeah, I'm a racist. I'm systemically racist. I was born this way. I can't help it. Actually, I'm not a racist, but if you talk about anything about this and you don't like what people say, you're automatically deemed a racist. If you don't even agree with them, you're deemed a racist. If you don't agree with everything they say, you're a racist. And especially if you win an argument, because the final word is you're a racist. Now, there you go. Well, here's some good news. There's some good news here. There's some good news, when I read it. I try to pick out some good news stories. Not a lot, but I try to pick them out. The Bank of Canada cut interest rates by 0.25%, and everyone is dancing in the streets. Big deal. The point, um, ladies and gentlemen, it's good news they're starting to drop it, and it points to maybe some good drops in the future and some good things happening. But at the end of the day, it ain't going to help you any. A quarter of a point is nothing. It's nothing. It's pennies. It's nothing. It's a nice gesture, and it bodes well maybe for the economy and the inflation rate and everything else. But at the end of the day, it's really not a heck of a lot of money that's coming off your mortgage. Um, I mean, if you're in a fixed mortgage, it's probably not even worth buying out of, because if you want to go back to a variable, or cancel the 5-year mortgage you got or something, probably more to get out of it than you're going to save by going down a quarter of a percent. So really, it's a nothing burger out there, except an indication. Now, if they drop that number to 4%, it could mean a 300 to 400 a month saving on a 25-year, $600,000 mortgage, which is fantastic. But the good thing is, like I said, confidence. Confidence the economy is turning around after the COVID scam, when the rates are headed the right way for home buyers. And in that regard, you know what happens when buyers jump into the market. So it's a double-edged sword. They dropped the interest rates. It's a double-edged sword. There's a couple of my buddies. They come here every day, and they're waving at me over there. It's a double-edged sword, because as more people, the mortgages get cheaper, more people can get into the market. More people get into the market. More people are fencing for homes, putting bids in that, and they start going up in price because of bidding wars. And away we go again with these housing prices rising. So getting people back into the market slowly by small cuts like this is not probably a bad idea. It's probably better to do it this way than to all of a sudden drop it, because, like I say, when you have more people wanting to buy houses, there's more competition. More competition ups the price, right? Supply and demand. Supply and demand. Can't win in the real estate game other than buying whenever. Yesterday was the best day to buy. Today is just as good a day to buy, right? I think that's what they say. Yesterday was the best day to buy real estate. Everybody laments 10 years ago, but yesterday, 10 years yesterday was going to be the best day to buy. So get out there. But if you have a variable mortgage you're looking to renew in the near future, it's probably good, because your payments are going to go down a little bit, and if they drop substantially over the next year, then they could drop significantly. I think they said on the $600,000 mortgage, you could save 300 or 400 a month if it went down 1%. I think so. Yep. So good stuff. Good stuff. Looks like we're headed in the right direction, perhaps. But we'll see. We'll see. But it's the start. So I got to get to my second sponsor. I got to find them. Hamilton Glowstone Lighting. You go down into these neighborhoods at night. You're taking a little drive with your sweetie, going down the street. You see this nice house all lit up, and you go, wow, is that ever nice? Wonder what the heck. I don't see any. You drive by in the daytime, you see no bulbs or anything. Well, that's Hamilton Glowstone Lighting, track lighting. It's permanent track lighting for your house. Now, these things are LED lights, so they're not going to kill your pocketbook on power. You won't even notice them on your bill. And they're all warranted, all dust protected, all water protected. Now, you run them through an app on your phone. I was going to hold up my phone, but it's over there filming this crazy thing. And you basically run it off there. There's a million different colors. They come in regions. They put them up in sections so that you can adjust every region, and you can make them red and green for Christmas, red and white for Canada Day, green for St. Patrick's Day, orange for Halloween. It doesn't matter. A million different combinations, or just plain white. That's going to light up your house, add ambiance and safety. Light up the walkways and that kind of thing, and add value to your house. No more ugly wires. No more climbing up on ladders. None of that crap. Once they're up, they're up. Warranted for 10 years. And if you really, really love them and you want to Griswold your house, they have financing. Go crazy. You can finance it and pay a certain amount every month for a few years, and you're good to go. So it doesn't, you don't have to plop down a king's ransom right away to get your whole house done. A la Griswold, Clark Griswold. Hamilton Glowstone Lighting. Call Colin Buckborough. He's the proprietor. His number is 289-969-1797. That's 289-969-1797. Or go to glowstonelighting.com, just like it sounds. GLOWSTONELIGHTNI lighting, LHHTING. I'm thinking of Tampa Bay Lightning. GlowstoneLighting.com. You see everything they offer. You see some spectacular pictures of houses lit up. And they give you a good overview of exactly what the lights are and the warranties and the way they're made. Every connection soldered. None of this plug-in stuff where water can get in. They're all soldered and sealed, waterproof. So you put them up, you're good to go for 10 years. Hamilton Glowstone Lighting. Call them Buckborough. Tell them Paul from your city, your voice sent you. I'm going to get them at my house. I got to take a look at these things. I love them. So, if you remember the other day, we were probably talking about it yesterday even, there was like on Wednesday night, it was a big problem. There's 6 to 8 overdoses coming across the broadcasting radio, the calls, and there was a stabbing. Somebody got stabbed on Summer Street. Now it was in the paper today. Summer Street at Banker Street, which would be on the east side of Main Street on Summer Street. The first street is Banker Street. And around that area, you know that old house there that's kind of octagonal with the big widow's thing up top? Yeah, around that area. But anyway, a 21-year-old woman was arrested. I guess a man and a woman were arguing, and it escalated to the woman stabbing the man. The woman was charged with assault with a weapon and failure to attend court previously, which means to me that perhaps she should have been in lockup right from the beginning. What was she doing out in the street? Maniac stabbing people with a knife, and she was, under. She was ordered to attend court previously, so they're obviously, if she didn't show up, there's a warrant out for her arrest. I don't know why the warrant wasn't served. I don't know why they couldn't find her, but usually that's what happens. And at the end of the day, you keep saying it. There's a 21-year-old woman stabbing another guy, drugged out, guaranteed. There's something to do with drugs or booze or something. That home, that residence is right there. Who knows? Maybe they're staying there. I don't know. We don't know the whole story. You can only make suppositions, but that seems to be a thing. And I keep saying it. You have to get these mental cases off the streets and fast. I mean, who knows? If you want to see the crime rate lower, There's got to be a real push to get these people off the streets. The cops have to have some power here. And you know what? The article in the review didn't mention race or nationality or anything. But I'd like to know what the hell we're dealing with here. I mean, there's that story about the three people involved in human trafficking. They're all offshore people, and we've got a lot wandering around. You go down by that Summer Street, Main Street area at night, and you see the people hanging out and just wandering around. It's pretty. I would never walk by there by myself at night. Not a chance. Not a chance. Anyway, so they put the brakes on this, and that, yeah, it's going to be a zoo. Let's go back down south to the Hunter Biden trial. And I don't know if you've been watching it or not. I talked to Chris Regas yesterday when he was in about it, and he said he said he really hasn't been following it that much. But I follow this kind of crap, you know that. But it's really establishing what a dysfunctional trash family the Biden crime family is. I mean, these guys, they're just bums. They really are trash. And Hunter's not only banging his dead brother's sister after the brother died. His dead brother's wife, not sister. His sister's another story. We'll talk about that in a minute. Hunter was not only banging his dead brother's wife, so his brother died, and Hunter moved right in on the brother's wife. He got her hooked on crack cocaine as well. So ended up dating her, got her hooked on crack cocaine, and all this is coming out in this trial, and all the texts and emails are telling a sordid tale of a crack addict whose father set him up to make money for the family. It's a tale of crime, guns, and drugs, and all kinds of wacky affairs and relationships. Soon to be available on next Netflix, guaranteed. This will make the ultimate movie. Somebody's going to make this movie, Hunter Biden Unleashed, or whatever the hell they're going to call it, because this guy is truly a whack job. Now, Biden crime family boss Joe says he will not grant his son a pardon if he gets found guilty. That's it. If he gets found guilty, I'm not giving him a pardon. So that says to me the fix just might be in. Why make that statement to the press? I mean, he was asked the question, but I mean that would be pretty silly if he said no, I'm not going to do it, and then did it if the trial didn't go his way. But they're figuring the trial's in Delaware. The Biden family is well known in Delaware, and that they can rig it up like they did in Manhattan about Trump. So I think he's pretty sure that somehow he's going to get off. So he don't have to worry about a pardon, and he can say, no, I won't pardon him. But he could be sentenced to 15 to 25 years on the gun charge alone. Never mind all these other charges. Banning guns, I mean, this is a big thing, and screening are a foundation of the Obama-Biden administration. That's all they ever talked about. Every time there's a shooting, it's ban guns, ban guns, ban guns. Get automatic weapons off the street, which they've been since 1982. By the way, you can't buy automatic weapons. But ban guns, ban guns, ban guns. A never-ending stream of lies about exactly what goes on with guns, and they keep forwarding and pushing this narrative of ban guns. So this is serious business that he did. He broke the administration's rules. Screw the Second Amendment. Hunter broke a sacrosanct rule of these anti-gun fanatics, lying on a federal form to get a gun. I mean, this is what they're always yelling for: more controls, better checks, better checks. They don't want mentally ill people getting it. They don't want drug addicts getting guns. They don't want criminals getting guns legally. So this is a big deal when you lie on one of these forms. It's a felony. It's a federal crime. So we'll see how it works out once this it's not looking good, but we'll see how it works out. But here's a short list of Hunter Biden's accomplishments. And he said these in the trial. This is all in the trial. Being stoned on crack 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. His sister-in-law is saying he smoked crack every 20 minutes. Hooking up with his dead brother's wife, introducing her to crack, and getting her addicted, and making porno films with her. Check. We're going to give it a horn. Knocking up a stripper who had his baby, who Biden wouldn't acknowledge as his grandchild, and told the mother not to use the Biden name. Okay? Travel around the world, even on Air Force One and Two, stoned out of his mind, making illicit deals with the Ukraine, Chinese, and Russian politicians and businessmen to make money for the Biden campaign. There's another accomplishment, and he's quite the character. And of course, lying on a federal form to purchase a gun he said was to protect himself from drug dealers he was dealing with. Now, this is worse because the Biden cartel and the number one proponents of getting rid of the Second Amendment, which makes the screening forms really important in gun sales and a felony to lie on them. So, and none of this, Hunter Biden's accomplishments. I mean, there's a couple others. He got a job on Burisma and was paid $83,000 a month, even though he had not one qualification or knew anything about the board he was getting paid to be on. He got $3 million from the Russian mayor of Moscow, his wife. He got $3 million payment from him, and millions of dollars from the Chinese. All recorded, all verified. I mean, this isn't just made up. These are facts that this happened. So it'll be interesting. And none of this even touches Joe Biden's daughter, Ashley, her diary, where she accuses the president of molesting her when she was a child. I mean, this family is dysfunctional and trash to the max, and Joe's the center of it all. He's the boss. He's the capo di tutti capi of that family. Anyway, we'll see how this trial works out. I can't wait to watch a bit of it this afternoon. It's very, very entertaining stuff if you bother to watch. And the only thing more entertaining is Fauci getting grilled. Fauci's getting hammered at the House hearings. He's getting clobbered. He's getting clobbered, being called a criminal, and he should be in jail and everything else for what he did to America, locking people up, making up the 6 foot rule, lying. Oh boy, he's got a bit of trouble too. That's another story. I digress. That's another story that we have to talk about one day. We'll get all the information on that and bring it to the table. Now, back to the city. Let's come back to Niagara Falls. The big show, Mayor Jim, is coming around. He's coming around, I think, maybe. Well, kind of. Well, not really. He's proposing a residential convenience pass for city parking. Okay. Okay, sounds good. $35 a year, and you can park in any city street for 3 hours. Only 3 hours, though. Kind of like the same hours as you can use the tennis dome. 3 hours a day, yeah. You can only park on city streets, of course, and only for 3 hours. But hey, for me, that's enough to do anything I have to do. So maybe it'll work out. $35 a year, 35 loonies a year, not bad. But you can't park in city lots. So if you want to go down to the tourist area, park in that nice lot there, and walk across the Yanks Old Time Tavern there, and Yanks Old Niagara Tavern. Nope, can't do it if you're going to stay more than 3 hours because you'll get a ticket. 3 hours, that's it. Can't do that. You can't do that. You got to park on if you park on the street, you're good for 3 hours. If you find a parking space down there on the street, that's not bad if you have a pass. But here's my question. Since we're taxpayers, why not a free parking pass to all city residents that want one? Seriously, why not? Pass for free if you are a resident of Niagara Falls that limits you to 3 hours parking on the streets. How about that? How about free? If you want to go get one at City Hall, you go, you register, you get your card, and away you go. You're good. Why not? What the heck? They blow money on all kinds of stuff. Why not help us for a change? Give us a perk of being a resident of Niagara Falls. Now, this flies totally in the face of his other plan of raising rates at busy times, surge parking pricing, or dynamic parking pricing, I think he called it. As demand increases, rates go up. Now, he wants to sell a pass to people for $35 a year, residents. He mentions about the hospital convenience parking when he's talking about, but seriously, the on-street parking around the hospital is minimal. I mean, what do you got? 10, 20, I don't know, maybe 20 spaces near the hospital. And, then you have to start going up the streets. Can't park on the side streets, Balmoral or Prospect or any of that anyway. There are no parking there. North Street, there's no meters. No meters on North Street, either side of Main Street. So it's only a little bit down Kitchener Street, maybe 10 parking spaces or so. And in front of the hospital. And on the other side of the street, a little bit between Balmoral and, or is that Britannia? That's Britannia. Britannia and North Street. And a few in front of the houses on Portage Road there across from the hospital. But that's about it. 30 spots maybe. So, believe me, if you think you got this pass and you're going to go visit at the hospital, you're probably not going to get a parking spot anyway. You might as well make it free. Free for residents, city streets. Why not? Why not? What a nice perk that would be for us. John Ringo Beam, put that on your list when you run for mayor. Free parking on city streets for residents only. Now, the other ones, the dynamic parking, sure. Raise the rates to the roof for tourists coming into town. Let them pay for our passes. How about that? Dynamic parking so they can generate more money and enough money to pay for our parking passes. I don't think everybody in town would go down and get one. I can't imagine. I don't think I would for $35. I don't spend $35 on meters during a year. I don't think I ever have. Wouldn't interest me so much, but people who use the medical center here probably might be interested in that. There's not many parking spaces there neither. And places like that, I mean, that would come in handy for some people, and some people would go for it. I don't think I would, to be honest with you. And I don't think 99% of the city would. Just my opinion. I don't know. I've never taken a poll, but I haven't seen a huge interest. People yelling about free parking. So why not give it to us free, Mayor Jim? Come on, bring it up before council. Say free. Lori Lococo, tell him you want it free. And see what he says. Listen, Jimmy boy, listen to me. Look at me, Jimmy. Look at me. Do it for a year. See how it works out. You want to make people happy. Don't you remember what I said yesterday? Clean city, good roads. And if you can throw in free parking, you're a winner. You're a winner. Free parking. Let's do it. No fooling around. Come on. Get serious here. Yeah. So anyway, I say free parking for city residents and all city streets. Get a pass, put it on your dash, try it for a year, see what happens, Jimmy boy. And if you do a thing and you think it's costing us way too much money to do it, which it isn't probably, it won't be. But I'm sure the actuaries, the bean counters down at City Hall can figure out how much they lost in on-street parking from parking passes, because the meter guys will go around and look, see the pass, put a check box in their book. Pass. Just keep checking them off as they see them. Let's do a tally and see how much they use, see how much they would have generated, and go from there. Why not try it? Give us a break. Give us a little break for a change. Give us a little break. Nice token after you nailed us for 13% over the last 2 years in the property taxes. So today we are at 10-1. There's one more thing I want to talk about, and then I'm getting out of here. That's the bottom line. Because Stone Cold said so. It was a very, very disturbing. It might not disturb you, it disturbed me, but then a lot of things disturb me that don't disturb the normal people in the city. It was about Winnipeg, Manitoba, and Big Brother. Now they are working with a new AI system. I think it's in Winnipeg and Edmonton so far. It's being tested. They're working with it. That uses several cameras to capture high resolution pictures through your windshield. Now, those high resolution pictures grab your face. And of course, what's on the government's records? Your fotch, your face. And what do they do with that? They run it through a computer with facial recognition. Now they know who's driving the car. Now they know who's on the cell phone. Now they know who doesn't have their seatbelt done up. And now they can issue a ticket. AI facial recognition to verify you broke the law and issue a ticket. I don't know about you, but this seems like an invasion of privacy. I mean, they're doing the speeding, but they can't really tell who's speeding. They're not looking at the person. They're looking at the vehicle, and whoever owns. Excuse me. I get in here, I start coughing all the time. Okay, I think I'm done for now. But they use the AI to tell who it is. But with the speeding one, they just get your license plates, and whoever owns the car gets the ticket, and they have to figure out who was speeding. But this one actually uses facial recognition to tag you. I wonder what would happen if I wore a Joe Biden mask when I drove around. What would they do then? Send Joe Biden a ticket? Hey, you never know. Gotta find out his license plate numbers on his Corvette. Then I've got it all covered. But yeah, I just can't believe this invasion of privacy. How long before some company comes along though with a spray application for your windshield so the cameras can't look in? It doesn't look like it's on there to the cops and that, but when the camera flashes it, it flashes back at them and obstructs the camera. John Ringo Beam, that's your mission. If you should decide to accept it, find this film. Of course, the city says it's their mission to combat unbelted, distracted drivers. That's what they're doing. They're combating distracted drivers, unbelted and on their phones and everything else. Dangerous drivers out there. And I agree, it's a big problem. The problem is they can't enforce it. Your chances of getting caught on the phone are slim and none. They put these cameras in, there'll be a little bit more. But at the end of the day, I mean, for you to get caught using your phone I see it every day. Hundreds of people, using them when I drive, around the city. And no problem. They're not getting pulled over. Nobody's arresting them. So they don't even care. They just do it anyway. I call it a tax grab. And I mean, these speed cameras they're generating $20 million a year, some crazy number. It's unbelievable, and people are cutting them down. I love the stories. Guys are going out there with the Sawzall, the battery powered ones, the new style. No cords or anything necessary. They're just going up and cutting them off right at the pole. Down they go, and now they're taking pictures of planes speeding by. And they're doing it all over the place. Not so much around Niagara Falls yet. We haven't been hit by any of that stuff. But in Grimsby in that area, Jordan, Grimsby in that area, they're hammering them. They seem to put them up again, fix them, and down they come. Up, down they come, up, down they come. They're going to have to put them like hanging from a wire, 20 feet in the air or something so people can't get at them. But you know what? They got shotguns out there too, so we might just blow them up. Who knows? I don't encourage vandalism. I do not encourage anybody to do this. Don't go down in front of Greendale School and take a Sawzall to it. You're probably going to get caught, and then you're going to end up in the slammer. And you don't want that, right? You don't want to be in the slammer. I don't want to be in the slammer. I would never do that kind of crap. I would never take a can of paint and spray paint it black so it can't see. Or just cut it down. And I would never do that. And I would never encourage anybody to do that. But it's been done. Anyway, you know what? That's it for me. Big Brother is watching you, and so am I. I'm here every day at noon. Your city, your voice. And we talk about all kinds of crap. And I know a lot of people don't agree with me and they think I'm whacked or whatever. But you know what? Somebody better have an opinion and wake up around here. We're getting hammered and nobody's saying a word. Nobody's saying a word. Watch city council meeting. 9.5 hours of getting hammered. Nobody says a word. Oh, but they're sleeping by then anyway, most of them. So, but anyway, we got to be, as citizens, we got to be a little bit more aware of what's going on around here and dealing with it, because it's our money they're spending. It's our money. Every dime they spend is our money. So we want to make sure that we're at least, taking them to task, and we don't feel they're doing it right. We don't feel they're spending the money right because they love to blow money. The new trail, $12 million when it's all said and done. $2 million they're going to spend this year. A new trail, all these different things. Tennis domes cost us half a million. Like all this stuff that don't cost us any money always costs us money. Every project costs us more money than we should be paying. It's got to be a way to throttle this. And, if it means a new council next election, so be it. Responsible people spending our money. It's our money. You guys go to work and you work hard for your money. Guy goes to work and works for a day, and half the day he's working for the government, between the city, the region, the province, the feds. Then at the end of the week, he gets his paycheck. Half goes to them. They never worked an hour of his time. Never worked an hour, and they're getting half his paycheck every day when he goes to work for 40 hours. It ain't right. They have to be better. They have to be better at their job. They have to really, really tighten up their belt. We can't keep paying for it. We can't. We just don't have it. People are struggling. People are on the street because of these taxes and everything else. Why do you think there's homeless people? Why do you think they've appeared since COVID? When they closed everything down, put people out of business, made people sell their houses. It's gotten worse. Why do you think? It didn't just happen overnight. It's always been getting worse, but when we got into COVID, it really got worse. And it's not our fault. It's not the taxpayers' fault. Somebody says, "What have you done for the homeless?" I've done nothing. You know why I've done nothing? Because I pay other people who are qualified to do things. I don't do nothing. Other people should do it. That's why we pay taxes, so they take care of these homeless people and help these drug addicts and get them transition into housing, affordable housing. They got to take care of that, not me and not you. And I take my hat off to anybody who's out there feeding the homeless and everything else. Good for you, but you know this is the government's responsibility. They created the problem. How can we expect them to fix it? They created it. They don't know how to fix it. That means you got to get a new government. Pretty simple, really, if you think about it. You call me crazy, call me nuts, and this is what people say to me. But the bottom line is that it's not our job as taxpayers. We pay them to take care of these people. We pay our government a lot of money to deal with the homeless and everything. What are they doing with it? The problem's getting worse. Don't give me that. What have you done lately? No, I've done nothing. I went to work and I paid my taxes. Right? That's what everybody does. If you're going to pay them to stay home from work so they can go help the homeless, I'm sure they would. I know a lot of people who do it for nothing. My hat's off to them. God bless them. Glow and Tara and Gary Wilkins and everybody who do their best. But at the end of the day, it's not them. They've worked. They've paid their taxes over the years. And they paid them to the governments who claim they're going to help the homeless and everything, and they don't. Anyway, I'm ending with that. I've had enough. I'm getting out of here before I swear. My name is Paul Calamere. This is Your City, Your Voice, coming to you live from the studios of 4680Q Radio in downtown Niagara Falls, Ontario, Canada. Have a great weekend, everybody. I will see you Monday with Manic Monday. It's just another Manic Monday on this finally Friday. Take care. See you later. Ciao, ciao.